I'm back with the same concept of pH, what we were applying in the solutions. You must be wondering that does the pH also work in the natural world, that is the plants and animals and us too? Yes, it does. Today's lesson we are going to do the role of pH in the biological system. It's a very important concept and you can see how chemistry is related to the daily world. Now for the first slide, I'm just going to revise with you the concept of pH and the pH scale. Now if you remember, we had a pH scale which ran from 0 to 14 and 7 was neutral. That is when the hydrogen ion and the hydroxyl ions are equal. That is a neutral 7. And you can measure this pH by the help of a universal indicator, which is either a pH paper or it can be even a solution, pH solution. So when you add pH paper, you get a range of colors, and the range of colors help you to analyze the pH of that particular substance. Now in the table you can see that how the hydrogen ions are more in an acidic solution and the pH is less. So when we move from 7 to 0, the acidity of the substance increase, and the reverse in the case of the bases. When we go from 7 to 40, the substance become more basic. Then we have some examples from the book itself that inside our body, although our body works best in a pH range of 7 to 7.8, but there are some places inside the body where the pH is not that. One is the gastric juice, that is the stomach. The stomach harbors HCl, which makes it very acidic, and the pH is about 1.2. But pure blood, you can see it is 7.4. So other parts of the body works best when the pH is between 7 and 7.8. Now for gastric juice, supposing the HCl in the stomach is more, then remedy is right in the table only, that is a milk of magnesia. Can you guess what will milk of magnesia do to the HCl? It will neutralize it. And when it neutralizes, again there is a beautiful shift of pH to the required level. And then the body starts functioning best. Now the first part we are going to do about how the pH is related to the world, that is plants. Now children, for the plants, the farmer has to be very careful with the pH. If the pH is not satisfactory, the plants will not grow. Actually, the plants need to take up some iron from the soil, and the absorption of the iron from the soil takes place best in a particular pH. Otherwise, the plant might go yellow and die. Now, when the farmer is going to plot his crop, he has to be very, very careful with the pH, so that he checks the pH of the soil. We'll be doing a little later about how to check the pH of the soil in an activity. But right now, you should remember that the plants need a very specific pH. Supposingly, the soil is acidic. We cannot grow a plant which needs basic soil. One way is you can make it, as you can make it alkaline or neutralize it by using CaO, that is quicklime. Just the pulverized or the powdered CaO is sprinkled in the fields, and the fields are watered. And then the fields are watered, the calcium hydroxide formed reacts with the acidic soil and makes it neutral. This way we shift the pH to the neutral, which is best for the growing of the plants. And then another way is, supposingly the soil is alkaline, then you add gypsum. It does the same what CaO was doing to the acidic soil. Then you can have a neutral soil. But supposedly you don't want to alter the pH and you want to grow something in the acidic soil. There are some plants which need acidic soil to grow. So you can see the all beautifully colored berries, brinjal, and hydrangea. I remember I have talked about hydrangea flower in the previous lesson, that when hydrangea flower grows in the acidic soil, it is purple. If it is in the neutral soil, it is white. And when it is in the acidic soil, it is red. So you can grow these flowers and the fruits and the vegetables, and then use that acidic soil for the cultivation. Otherwise, you can shift the pH by using quick lime or calcium hydroxide solution. Now we move to the next part, which I am going to show you in form of a slide. But I'll advise that you pause the video and get something to write on, because there aren't many points I have written down, but I have covered the whole in 4 parts. I'd like you to write down. So first of all, about the human body, best pH is 7 to 7.8. If the pH is acidic or basic, it results in a disorder or disease in the body, and the body fights hard to bring back the pH to 7.7 to 7.8. Maybe the breathing becomes too fast, then the carbon dioxide, etc., will manage the pH to shift to the level of 7 to 7.8. Now let's talk about the environment. Now, because of the factories and the affluents of the factories and the vehicular traffic, it is increasing day by day. So what happens is that when it emits out the harmful gases like carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, they mix with the rainwater. And where does the rainwater ultimately go? Into the soil, and some of it is a runaway water into the water bodies. The pH of the water bodies will drop. If it drops to slightly acidic, it's okay. But if it becomes below 5.6, the aquatic animals and the plants will die. So it's very, very harmful for them. The body cannot work in that pH below 5.6. You have to remember this number. This is important. Now we come to us. Inside our body, we had just told you about HCl. If there is excess of HCl, that is you going hungry for a long period of time, HCl has nothing to work on, no food in the stomach, so it might cause acidity. Or you've been eating too much of a spicy food, it might result in acidity. When there is acidity, it results in heartburn, then you are not very comfortable. It keeps on, you get the burps, which keeps on making you very sick. This can be neutralized by using milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia is magnesium hydroxide, Mg bracket OH whole 2. So this milk of magnesia will neutralize the excess of HCl. Now, when the neutralization reaction occurs, salt and water is formed, and again you are relieved of acidity. Then another very important point at your age is why people keep on saying avoid sugary food, or if at all you've had sugary food, then brush your teeth, is because when you have sugary food, especially after dinner, if you have a nice sweet dish, what happens? The sweets, they stick to your mouth, and when they stick to your teeth, then it invites the bacteria to feed on it, and when the bacteria decompose the sugary food, it produces large amount of acid. That acid inside the mouth can corrode, although it is a very hard substance, the enamel made up of calcium phosphate. It also gets corroded by the acid produced by the bacteria. And then what happens when there is a cavity and you have a discomfort? To avoid that, brush your teeth. Now, what should be the nature of the toothpaste with which you need to brush the teeth? Basic, because the acid in the mouth will be neutralized by the basic toothpaste, and again you are free of the acid and your mouth will be freshened and good, and there will be no cavities. Now we move to the next bit, that is, does this acidic medium help uh, any organism in the plant world and animal world? It does. It's a self-defense. You have seen a small little ant, but sometimes it can even become very mighty. You must have heard about the story of the little ant which got into the nostril of the big elephant and bothered it. Because when the ant stings, it generates methanoic acid. It's a mild acid, but it causes immense amount of pain and discomfort and can drive you crazy. You want to itch all the time. And if it is a little bigger insect, that is a honeybee, oh my god, it can really put you into a lot of trouble. So what to do? Use something basic. You know a lot of basic substances. Around you we have soap, you have then you have the toothpaste, and best of it, you have the baking soda. Just apply a little bit of baking soda. You are relieved of the discomfort caused by the methanoic acid which the animal or the which the bee or the ant has injected into your body. Another very beautiful example of defense is in the plants. The nettle plant. Nettle is a plant which is a herbaceous small shrub, and it has serrated margins, and it has small hair on it. So it is very hairy. So when this hair and the serrated edges, you tend to just walk past it or stamp on it, it injects into your body some acid, that is a methanoic acid. Now you can have a look at the plant. It's You can see how it can cause a damage to you. You can see the hairy structure and the serrated edges. This is nettle leaves, and they are pouring some acid on you, and this causes itch and discomfort. Now nature has given a remedy. So, and the remedy is nothing but the dog plant. Dog plant is alkaline. So when you rub it over the serrated over the uh, injured part or the part which is causing itching, it will be cured. And if you don't want to do that, you cannot locate for a dog plant. It grows in its vicinity. But supposing you are not able to do it, then you know the remedies which you have around you, that is soap, then you can use some baking soda. So you have seen that how there are some sufferings in the world, but the nature has alongside given some remedy to those sufferings. Now, if you take this example, nowadays we are having the fear of COVID-19. Probably Earth is under repair because what had we done? We had really exploited the Earth. Everybody in their own vehicles, factories, clothing, everything emitting out some acidic gases into the environment, acidic effluents into the water bodies. So there was large amount of pollution. They were all the time harboring on cleanliness, using of tissue paper. Little did they realize that what are they doing? They are making the environment very, very acidic. So see, I think this is a remedy to repair the earth. Now all the vehicles have stopped, factories have stopped working. Once again, the earth is going to be beautiful without much of pollution, and everything will be just fine. I hope we all survive through this um, you know, uh, pandemic, and we come out of it beautifully with a repaired earth. Thank you so much. Oh yes, I forgot to introduce one topic. I had talked about the farmer and how he should be measuring the pH. It's activity 2.12 in your book. It's a if a farmer wants to grow something of a crop of his desire, he has to be very careful with the pH because all the plants don't grow in anything. They need a specific range of a pH. For that, you can take a little bit of the soil, 2 grams of soil in a test tube, add some water to it, then shake the content, then filter, and in that filtrate, pH paper is added and it gives you a particular color. Then you can match it with the scale. We have seen the scale and find out the pH, and you know the remedy. If the soil is acidic, then add the powdered calcium quicklime CaO, or if the soil is alkaline, add powdered gypsum. it can repair the soil and make it neutral, the best for the plants to grow. Thank you so much.